Welcome to Daily Dose of Greek Weekend Edition. I'm your guest host, Todd Scacewater, from the website exegeticaltools.com. This is going to be a two-part video. In this first one, we're going to translate through Philippians 2, 9 to 11. And in the second video, we're going to look at Paul's use of Isaiah 45. On our website, we have a full series going through every verse of Philippians in Greek. We walk you through it just as I do here. You can check that out at exegeticaltools.com/Philippians. If you want to see the rest of our series, we have even more at exegeticaltools.com/shop. So let's start translating through this. This is part of what's called the Christ hymn. It may or may not be a preformed hymn, Philippians 2, 6 to 11, and this is the second part of the hymn. It begins with dio, which means therefore, so this is building off the preceding. An adverbial kai, because it's not really connecting anything, so it's adverbial rather than coordinating. Even God or also God, God the subject here, and that's followed by an accusative auton, so that's probably going to be a direct object. So therefore God, also something, him. And then we come to what that something is, the verb, huperupsosin. This is from huperupsao, which means, hupsao means to lift up or to raise up, so huperupsao means to lift far above. You could say exceedingly exalted or something like that. So therefore, God exceedingly exalted him. And then you have kai, and he also did something else, another verb, ekarisito. This is from charizomai, and this right here used to be a zeta, but whenever you have a zeta followed by a sigma, and here you have that sigma alpha signaling the first aorist tense, that zeta just drops out, so you're left with the sigma alpha. So you have the augment and the sigma alpha. That's the standard features of the first aorist. So, and he gifted, charizomai, to gift or to graciously gift. He gifted to him, that is, the antecedent there is auton, Christ. He gifted him, and what did he gift him? Ta anima, and then another article, ta huper pan anima. So this is the second attributive position. It's very important to know the attributive positions. If you don't know them, you can find them in an intermediate Greek syntax book. But in this case, you see article, noun, article, and then this is why it's so important to know the attributive positions, because this whole phrase right here is a prepositional phrase acting adjectively. So it's very easy to notice that when you know the positions. So article, noun, article, adjective. It's the second attributive position. So this is the above all names name, or the above all every name name. But in English we have to translate that as the name that is above every name. Okay? So that's what he gifted to him. And why did he exalt him, and why did he gift him that name? In order that, then we have in to onomati Jesu, and this in right here is a bit odd. Again, you'll want to check an intermediate grammar, such as Going Deeper with New Testament Greek that Rob Plummer recently co-authored, or you can check Wallace's syntax as well. But this probably works best, in my mind, as reference or respect. So in order that with respect to the name of Jesus, so they're going to be bowing and with respect to the name or something like that. With regard to the name of Jesus, you have every knee, panganu. Then you have, this is from compto, meaning to bow. And you can see the eta here signaling the subjunctive, which you would expect after a hina. And then there's a sigma hidden in there as well. You have the P and the sigma, which together becomes a psi. So every knee shall bow. And then you have knee, and then you have these genitives, epiranion, epigeon, and katakthanion. So epiranias means heavens or heavenly, the heavens, and then epigeon, you can see ge right here, and epi, so on the earth, and ge there, so earthly. And then katakthanion, this is right here, this kind of stem means surface, and then you have kata, which means under, so under the surface or under the earth, or we might say subterranean. So we have to determine what type of genitives these are. So every knee of the heavens, of the earth, and under the earth. I think these work best as attributive genitives, which means that these genitives are turned into attributive adjectives in English translations. So this would be every heavenly knee, every earthly knee, and every subterranean knee shall bow. And I think this is a use of, you might say, metonymy, which means that they're referring to the knee in place of the whole person. So the knee represents the whole person. That is, every person who is in the heavens, or every being or spiritual power who is in the heavens, on the earth, or under the earth, will bow with reference to the name of Jesus, and they'll do something else. And every tongue, pasaglossa, every tongue, and then this is from ex amalageo, to confess, and this would be right here, normally amalageo, it's a contract verb, so that would be an epsilon, and then again right here, this would be an epsilon as well. These have both been lengthened. The first one is lengthened because it comes right before the sigma tense formative. That's normal. And then the epsilon right here would normally be the connecting vowel. It's lengthened because we're still in the subjunctive mood following this hina. So in order that every knee shall bow and every tongue confess, and what is every tongue going to confess? That Kyrios Jesus Christos, and then eis doxon, unto the glory of God, and then apposition, namely the Father. Now the last thing to deal with here is Kyrios Jesus Christos. Which one of these is the subject and which is the predicate nominative? There's an implied eston in here. So it's either the Lord is Jesus Christ or Jesus Christ is the Lord. It's hard to decide, but because Paul is here drawing language from Isaiah 45 and adapting it, and in that context, God is, Yahweh is the Kyrios. And because up here in verse 9, we have, what is he gifted? He's gifted the name. What is the name? Well, the name very likely might be Kyrios. So I think what Paul is doing here is he's making Kyrios the subject, and he's answering the question, not who is Jesus? Well, Jesus is the Lord. That, I think instead he's asking the question, who is the Lord? Who is Kyrios? And the answer is, Kyrios is. In Isaiah 45, it's Yahweh, but now Kyrios is also Jesus Christos. Kyrios, the Lord, is now also Jesus Christ. And they will confess that. That will be confessed unto the glory of the Father. That's it for this video. Join us for the next video where we're going to examine Paul's use of this language from Isaiah 45 in the Septuagint and in the MT. And if you like what you've seen here, check out our entire series on Philippians at exegeticaltools.com/Philippians, right up here. And again, to see all of our series, visit our shop at exegeticaltools.com/shop. Thank you so much for watching.